Hello, friends. Today, our topic is related to infrastructure. Basically, there is a very useful command that we mostly use while we transfer data from local system to the remote server, from remote server to remote server, or from server A to server B. So, at that time, this command is very useful, and it can be used on any platform. Could be on any operating system. For example, you can use this on Windows. You can use this on the iOS platform. You can use it on MacBook, and anywhere where you would like to transfer files, or you would like to make the backups, or you would like to create some bash scripts. So in that you can use this command for the backups. So for this is very useful command, and I will talk about this today. What is SCP means? This is a the SCP stands for secure copy. This is Linux based command, but it is useful for any. It is useful for any operating system. So what is the syntax? Linux, Unix, and Mac was very useful regardless of operating system. Like you can use or anywhere. These are the operating system that define that way you can use easily. So, what is the syntax of SCP? If you check here, I create all that documentation to explain it in a great manner. So, if you will check that how this the syntax to write this command. Basically, when you are any local server or any remote server, you can just write SCP, and the options I already mentioned. I already write over here many options. Explore We will explore together that how many options we can use to get different functionality. So these are the option lists that I have created over here, and I will explain you one by one. So after the option, we will just write the username or username, and at the rate we will write it out the host. It could be IP or it could be domain name, and then colon. We will write the path of the source file, and then space, and we will write another username at the rate of target's host or target server, and then we have to target path. So it will be the source file that is copied to for example, this is the server A that contains some source file, and then we have to put it some on other remote server, that is the destination server. So we will put over here. So this is the main syntax that we just write when we transfer the data from server A to server B. So what are the problems we face when we will execute this command mostly? So number one, permission denied where upload the file. Actually, the destination path has no permission. For example, this is the path directory where we would like to paste the file. So we don't have the permission to write. We don't have write permission on this path. So that's the reason. Sometime it returns permission denied where uploading the file. So the second problem came up with the SSH location incorrect, because sometimes we use an option negative I or minus I, space the public key over here, and then we have to write the server. So sometimes the location of the SSH key is incorrect, so we are unable to push the file from the server A to server B, or whatever the location is. So the third reason is problem coming up is incorrect password for the remote server, that sometime we have to just hit the command, it successfully executed, and in the second line it asks for the password. So mostly we don't have the passwords. When we write the incorrect password, or when we are copy the password and we paste it afterwards, so it is incorrect. So in that case, you must have to check your password, double check your password and try again. So I have an example over here where I will tell you that how we can, transfer file. So recently, I just push adminer file. Adminer is a database interface file that we have to mostly push to the Laravel or any other PHP framework where we would like to use the MySQL. So we will use this adminer file, and we will we push it to the remote server. So basically what I did is, over here is I just I have this my local system path, where I have to put the in the D drive, I put the adminer.php, and there is a remote server over here where in the public I wish to paste this file on this location on the public directory. So when I tried it and I successfully sent the file on this path without an issue. So we will have an example that let me explain with an example. We have an elastic search directory in my drive. So we will try to explore this one, how we can see that this file will be transferred to this location without any issue. So here is our GitHub, sorry, Git bash over here, and I will copy this command from here because I already make this experiment. And first, before that, we will check that either the Elasticsearch directory is there or not. This is Elasticsearch 8.6.8.6.zip. So if I'll go to my server here, I will check that is this directory exist or not. So we will check over here. So here we don't in the public directory we do not have the file called Elasticsearch dash 8.6.0. Okay, so when I hit this one, it will show us some progress, and then it started uploading. See, so it is a heavy file. That's I keep it heavy because I would like to show that how it is uploading to the server. So when it is uploaded successfully from here, I will show you that it is available. So this is 100% completed. The total size of the file was 84 MB, and internet speed, the bandwidth was on my system. My internet was 6.9 MB per second. So it took 12 seconds to upload this 84 MB file to the server. So if I check here, and I will see this, we have the file. Before that, we don't have this zip directory over here. So when we uploaded it, we just have it here. So if I'll remove it again, rm Elasticsearch and ls, now it's gone again. Let me try to upload again, and we will see that it will be available again on the server. So yeah, this is uploading now. ETA is giving us 67%, 78%, 88%, 9900 done. So let's ls again. Now the file is here. So this is how we use the scp command to send the file from local system to the remote server, from remote server to remote server. And this makes the life easier when we are on on the different system, and we know the credentials. We can just easily, for example, there is something urgent we would like to push to the server, or would like to make some backups. We just have to write this command, and it is just took seconds to upload the file or make the backups. So this is it. Let me explain further in the file that what are the different scenarios we can explore. So if here this is a server x and this is a server y, server IP1 and then username and password. If you can see that, I put this example to give you the understanding that how it exactly work and what are the different scenario we can you know uh, explore different scenarios. So for example, I am in the server X and I would like to copy this remote file to my server X. I'm logging into server Y now, by the way. This is 10.2.10.2. Okay. So I'm making this username, and then I write IP and then home work IQ information dot text. So why I use dot? The dot at the end means the current working directory, because if I am, for example, here somewhere in the etc, or for example some project. project A, for example. So I would like to paste the information dot text on this. So it will pasted this the information dot text file over here in this directory. So if you would like to change this part to directly, if it is on the X, so you can change also. So you can write it over project slash a like this also. But if you are already on that location here, so you don't need to do that again to write. You can write it, but because it will point to the same location if you write manually the path at the end of this command. Okay, so this is just an example. Okay, if you would like to uh, for example, yeah, you would like to copy the whole directory, for example IQ directory. So you what you need to do is you have to use minus r recursive. This is an option that I discussed over here. We have different options to use while we are copying the file. So this is minus r means you have to recursively if you want to copy entire directory, use minus r after the scp. So minus r will copy the whole iq directory and put it over on the current location. Location could be any, like I already gave you example that we can do project dot slash a like this. So it will be iq directory at the end will be pasted over here recursively. Whatever in this iq directory subdirectory files, everything will be copied to this location without any issue. So next, different parameters and its effectiveness. So this is the parameter SCP minus minus p when we have some port and we would like to define some port. So we have to use this parameter to define the port of any server where we are trying to reach. Minus p save the original files, modification, access time, and the mods. For example, you would like to copy a file information.txt, if you an example. So you want to copy to another remote server. You want to keep the parameters of that file, attributes of that file remains. And for example, modification of that file, access time of that file, and the modes means read write permission remains same when you transfer the files from the transfer file to the remote server. So minus p is that for that purpose. So next, minus q, turn off the progress meter. So it means that you see when I execute this command, I have see the this progress meter, that how many percentage are percentage, how much percentage is so far. So basically when you will use minus q, so it will not show this progress bar over here. So it will directly upload. It will also not display this line, and it will directly upload and quit. This is the purpose of this one. Minus r I already defined over. If we would like to recursively transfer the data, recursively transfer the files, like copy the file to the other server, transfer the file to the other server, you use minus r. So I have to use minus r. Mostly it is used for the directory a transfer. So this is it. And the next thing is minus r minus p minus r, and we already explained this one. Minus r and minus p, if we will use this at once, it will recursively and preserve the file attributes. For example, in iq there are hundred of files, and each file has their own properties, read write permissions, file access time, file modification time. Everything will remain same when you will transfer file from one server to another. So the other thing is scp minus s. This is something that you have to use third party program to connect to any remote server. So that's why we use this scp minus s program. So yeah, so this is it. Specify the program and you can use to connect to any server. For example, you have to use some encryption program. So you will you will install first the encryption program on your system, and then you will try to use that program over here to connect to the remote server. Mostly programs, for example vpn programs, some servers are not allowed to directly access. So you have to write some install some vpn program, and you have to write when you will try to copy some files, you have to mention that program and their parameters, password and everything, like what are the required parameters. Okay, so next thing is minus v. Minus v, we can give you the example of this one quickly. Minus v will give you the each and every steps of the performed by the server. Basically, this minus v is used for the debugging purposes. So it tells you the each operation that have been done uh, on the each step. So if you will check over here, so if I write it over here, or sorry, v minus v, so it will tell us that this is some warning file, warning will come, and then it will start progress idea rsa, and then it will, in the old we have just see the progress. In here we see the each step progress, how it connected to rsa path, and then it goes here. See, this is all it tells us in step by step. Basically this is used, minus v is used for the debugging purposes. So after that, when we send file to another server, maybe the our internet is low, and we are set some bandwidth over here. We set some, for example, our minimum speed is 100 kb. So we will scp minus l, and then we will set the bandwidth over here. Bandwidth limit will we will set the bandwidth limit over here, for example 100, and then we will try to write the server remote server addresses. So what it do is it will not break the operation even your internet connection is very slow. So sometime it happens that the server connection is slow, and the remote server are unable to copy the data from the host server. So that's the example of that one. Okay, next we have a cipher. So if we would like to copy the file from one server to another, would like to encrypt the data. So what we will do here is we will add these are the cipher programs that we use mostly. These are mostly built in, and some of them we are installed. So these are the allowed values that we can add while we are transferring the data from one server to another. Mostly the default is AES 128 encryption method, and we can use also 3DES, and there are many more over here mentioned. I created this documentation for your easiness. I will add in under the I will add this over the GitHub, and will provide you the URL for the GitHub under this video description, under the video description, and you can check that. And basically, this SCP minus one is used for the SSH protocol standard one. These are the standard defined. There are many standard defined in the version one, version two, and these are the protocol we can use this. SCP minus three. This is basically from the server where you are making this command. Minus three will make the route for those from that system. So this is used for that purpose. And after that, some server, mostly now the latest servers are use IPv6. So we can go through using the IPv6 as well, and IPv4 as well. This is for that. So minus scb batch mode. Batch mode mean if you enable the password less entry, and you are direct upload the file without asking for any user input. For example, you try to upload file, and server asks you the password. But if you enable on your server or your local system, you enable the password less operation enabled, so it will not ask you the password again and again when you will try to transfer file from one system to another. So next thing is minus d. Why we use minus d, minus small d? For example, we try to this is a source file, and we would like to transfer this file to destination directory. Okay, so for some reason this direct destination directory is removed. So what it will do is this source file will copy onto the next location demo directory. So this file will never fail. This will be copied to this directory directly. So that's the purpose to use the minus d parameters over here. So your copy operation will never be failed. Wherever the last location found, it will be copied there. So this is scp will be used for the compression. If you want if you are copying the file from one server to remote server to another, you want to make it faster operation. So you can use the minus c, and it will be as much as faster. because the file will be compressed. For example, you are sending the high volume file. For example, it's a 1 GB or 2 GB file. You would like to compress and make it make this operation fast. You can use the compression, so that will be make your life easier to make it faster. Okay, so SCP minus I identify file name of the private SSH key. So we are using this is I already used in this example. So you can try it over here when we have a public key or SSH key file. So we will use this. We already use this in example over here. So while we are making the first example over here, so it is using IDRSA as we have the in the debugging also. Next thing is yeah, so minus three, I already told you about my minus three. It is creating the root from where you are making this command. So this is scenario one, that if you have your server configuration is different and you would like to transfer file. So here I use double quote to just for the understanding of you guys that how you can use this when we have ports. So in that case, you will write the port, you have the server name, you will do scp minus 3 and you will create the route, and you will try scp and then username at the rate of host and then port and file path to file path and the destination file path over here. So you will do like this if you have the ips of your remote server, sorry, ports of your ports. A remote server has some port, and without port you are unable to copy that to the other server. So the scenario number second is if you would have an only specific files at once. So we can do this scp server one, we will copy the specific files like this. We will use bracket and we will text file one, text and text file one, and we will put it on our current server location where we currently are logged in. For example, here in this is a server, for example. So we will only copy the selected files with this brace operation. So advanced options are there. You can also use as a multiple options at once with the simply minus and rpqc. So everything is explained over here. If you will check this backtrack on the upper side, you will understand why this is using. So this is that person on, and I will recommend some of the links that I will provide in the github directory. And also for this file I will provide the github url, this url in under the video description, so you can easily explore these functions. These are very useful links, by the way. If you would like to explore more this secure copy command, you can use these, because many pictures are also pasted in these with the references of the commands. So you can use this, and you can you can go more into deeper into this scp command. That's all, and I already given you all the examples and parameters. So that's all from my side, and we will see you in next video.